Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered with Nikki Dawson. And honestly, I'm back. I am feeling so much better than I have been over the past few weeks. I'm sure that you have noticed that I haven't been as present and I haven't been posting as much on my social media, and also my podcast episodes dropped off a little bit. I just was not really feeling up to doing much, to be honest. And a lot has happened in the past week or so. So my back, it is feeling a bazillion times better, and I have been going to my physio regularly, and also I have been rolling out my glutes as well and not doing anything silly at the gym. Or maybe I did something slightly silly at the gym the other day, because my physio actually told me to hold off doing Bulgarians until I was able to comfortably do a single leg press, and I don't know why I forgot that little detail and I jumped straight to doing Bulgarians, but I was doing a lighter weight and it did definitely flare up my back. So yes, I kind of don't know why I did that, but anyways, I was very ambitious that day and I'm feeling a lot better now. Honestly, like 1,000 times better. I can sit without pain now. I don't even know how I got through those couple of weeks. I mean, to be fair, I was feeling like very low. My mood was super low. I was feeling a bit depressed, but we are getting back there. And another thing that has also happened is we did the SAT for mum, and honestly, it was like, in the moment, it was like a little bit stressful, and it is a very formal process, and I was not expecting it to be like that. It was a little bit confronting, if I'm being honest, and working in that sort of space and going to family meetings, being in contact with people in the hospital that are going through the same thing, I've had quite a bit of exposure, but when it comes to you and your own family, it's so different, and, you know, everything is obviously very formal. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's set in stone now. It just feels very real. The outcome of her SAT, I am appointed the EPA. Now I'm making decisions for my mum's finances, and my sister and I have been appointed EPG joint. So we both together will make decisions for any other sort of needs for her. So yeah, like medical things and so forth. So honestly, after I got over the initial like, oh my God, that was intense, sort of moment, I have felt like it's a weight off my shoulders to have that all sorted, because it has been a very long time, and I just kept on thinking, oh my gosh, if something happens in the meantime, we have to, like, you know, it's just, honestly, it would have been a pain. So I'm very, very happy that that is now in place. And it's not because, you know, I want to have control over, you know, everything that happens with her and her finances or anything like that. It's just like, if we do need to, then it's just going to make life so much easier. So that is now sorted. And I'm feeling so much better, like mentally as well. I know I mentioned in the last podcast that I had made some alterations to medications that I'm on, and that definitely has taken the edge off in terms of my anxiety as well. Such a big difference. And I hadn't altered the dose of my anti-anxiety medications for a very long time. So I think it was about time that I did, because they weren't working as effectively as they previously were. So yeah, that, I think everything in combination, like feeling better with, like, physically, and also sorting things out for mum, and medication starting to kick in, we are feeling very, very good. So I also have been a lot more active with my socials as well. I'm just making content that I really, really enjoy now as well. So, what did I recently post? Oh, this morning I posted the outtakes of a get ready with me video where I was just being so unhinged. I was like, oh my gosh, this is too funny not to post. So I had put on the initial like video, what did I even write? Me, I'm low maintenance. And then the next sort of video is like, also me. And then I'm saying, do I need cream glasses? Do I need a black bag? No, no, no. And I was just being crazy. But honestly, watching all of these videos back that I take of myself, this is just the way that I generally am day to day. But it's made me think I'm a little bit mental. Like, well, we kind of already knew that. But I don't know. It's made me definitely see myself in a different light. And I'm like, this is what other people see. And it's actually quite funny. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I actually like this? But also, I posted something the other day. I attempted to make a healthy recipe, and then as I was filming, like, I was just like, this is gonna turn to shit. So I started like having a bit of banter on the camera, and I was able to take all of the snippets from that and actually make like a funny reel out of it. And yeah, it did well. And what else have I been posting? I just want to really share things that feel like a little bit more like authentic to me, and acting like that and putting that out there. Honestly, it makes me feel good. Like sometimes I'll post things with, you know, a certain like target in mind, I suppose, because obviously like I do promote like body positivity and healthy relationship with food and all of those things. To a certain extent, like some of the people that follow me really put me off posting. Like when the reel of my husband doing the slut drop went viral, I did have like a massive influx of male followers, and it really put me off posting because I was like, this is not the sort of like target audience that I want. Like I want to be posting to women, and I promote body positivity and a healthy relationship with food. I don't really think that the people that have started following me recently are very interested in that. So it really has put me off. And then I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, but why? Like, why does that put you off? And then we were having a bit more of a chat, and I was reflecting on it, and I was like, yeah, why is that putting me off? Because when I first started posting a little bit more of myself, I did have the same like influx of like male followers, and I was like, don't love this, but it didn't affect me the way that it does now. But I think it was also just like feeling a bit more anxious over the past few weeks and questioning myself as well. I haven't had this level of self-doubt in quite some time though, so it was actually quite surprising. It kind of came out of nowhere. But obviously it's multifactorial because like I said before, low mood, just a lot of things on my mind with my parents. And yeah, obviously like sometimes social media can do weird things to you as well. So I think it was just a combination of the things. But now I'm feeling so much better, and yeah, feeling good to post. And I feel good talking about this as well, because these are the things that people don't often hear. Like some content creators will be open about this sort of stuff, but I think you guys need to hear it, because at the end of the day, I'm like a normal person. I have a regular job. I work at a hospital. I also work private practice. This is sort of a side thing for me, which I really do love, but it can get to you sometimes. And there's a huge mental sort of like component to it as well. And, you know, having to be switched on all the time, it can be very distracting as well. That's the other thing. My husband is often like, Nikki, you're always on your phone. Why are you always on your phone? And I think I should be setting boundaries in place for being on my social media, but at the same time, it's like it's very accessible. It is a job that you can kind of do whenever, like there's no set hours. So I probably should put some boundaries in place. I know that some people do actually do that, but if things get a little bit busier, then I will definitely have to. You know, there was something that I also felt like I wanted to talk about today. So recently, when I've had a lot of things going on, I have noticed like some people around me that have not been as supportive as what I would have expected, and some people that have just like kind of popped out of nowhere and provided support and been like, let me know if you need to talk. And honestly, I really do appreciate anybody that does do that. But there's also another kind of person that doesn't really read the room, and despite saying to these people, like, I'm not feeling the best, like, I'm just going through a lot at the moment, they have responded quite strangely and been like, oh yeah, sorry to hear, and haven't really gone on too much and been like, I don't know, it's like to a certain extent, I do have expectations of my friends, and I never talk about this to gain sympathy or anything from anyone, because I think I'm a strong enough person that I don't need that. But I don't like it when I feel comfortable to say to somebody, hey, I've been feeling a certain way, and then their response isn't kind of to my standard. Because if somebody said to me, Nikki, I haven't been feeling the best, like I've been really low, etc., I would be like, let's talk more about that. Like, why do you think you've been feeling this way? What can you do to sort of get out of this mood? And I would try and provide some support in that way. I guess it makes me sort of reflect on other times in the friendship and be like, when else have they been like this? And thinking, do I actually want to surround myself with people like this? So I'm not just talking about the more recent sort of events and say like my dad having a stroke. I have had some people that have been like, oh yeah, that's no good. Yeah, it's not good, and it's actually been causing me a lot of anxiety and stress, and I've been feeling really fucked up about it actually. Yeah, it's not good. But also there was a time, so it was like last year when we were initially going through everything with mum, and I had somebody that was very, very close to me, and around the time that we were going through all of the initial appointments with her memory clinic and, you know, sort of coming closer to like her having a diagnosis, this friend, she started putting her shit on me, basically. For example, I am the kind of friend that will check in and be like, hey, like, haven't seen you in a bit, like, do you want to catch up for a coffee? And she was very busy at that time, and she would constantly respond saying like, no, I'm busy, I can't catch up. And then I would say, okay, like, let me know when you're free. And this made her feel very guilty that she couldn't actually catch up with me. And she decided one day to tell me exactly how she felt, and that was that it made her feel like she was being a bad friend to me. And she told me that. She would often say some really inappropriate things to me, like that I didn't understand what things were like because I didn't have kids. And as somebody that is of the age where you would expect them to start thinking about children or start planning for children, it is a little bit hurtful to hear things like that. When I said to her, I don't appreciate you making comments to me like that, she turned around and said, well, this isn't about you. I found it so interesting that all of this came up around the time where I was having a really hard time. Then we didn't talk for quite some time, and she never really asked like how I was feeling about everything that was going on with my mum, and didn't talk for a long time. Then more recently, she'd like reached out a couple of times to try and catch up. I think you kind of get the picture. If I haven't seen you in well over a year, the last interactions weren't, particularly nice. I mean, I never said anything nasty to her. I was just putting my boundaries in place, and I was saying, I don't appreciate you saying all of this. And often I wouldn't respond when she would say some things back to me, because I just didn't feel like it was worth responding to. It's kind of brought up a few things recently. It's kind of made me think about the people that I have in my life. And so that was one friendship that I'd had for a very long time, but on and off, it was quite toxic, and there had been quite a few red flags throughout the friendship that I just thought, you know what, this doesn't feel right. And I was watching this Instagram reel this morning actually, and it made me think of this. That's why I'm talking about it. So this lady was saying that sometimes you will have friends that basically aren't happy for you in times where you're succeeding, and they will also bring you down when you're feeling low as well, and not support you in those times. And this is exactly how I felt about this friend. And she also said they'll stay close enough so they know what's going on with you, but they'll never support you. I reflect a lot on that friendship. It sort of taught me a lot. And I guess more recently, when I have been seeing sort of like red flags with some people, I just think, you know what? I need to just stop putting energy into these relationships and just leave it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really make me feel good. And especially in these moments where I'm like, do you even care about me? I know a lot of this is underlying, and I do still have some of these sort of ingrained behaviors from like my childhood and also my teenage years as well. And over time, I have definitely learnt how to deal a bit better with them. And to a certain extent, I do try to protect myself from even getting to the point of feeling hurt and, maybe that mistrust with people. I would say my husband, he often gives quite good advice around things like this. So if I do mention to him, somebody said this to me, he will say, well, have you ever thought about it in this way? And also, why are you allowing somebody to speak to you like that or treat you like that? And it really puts things into perspective, because like my husband, he obviously has my best interest at heart, and he cares about me a lot, and he knows me very, very well. So I do definitely value when he is able to pick up on certain things that are either affecting me in a negative way or potentially can. So whenever he makes a comment about someone and the way that they're treating me, I should listen to him, because sometimes I don't, and I just do what I want because that's what Nikki does. And then I end up getting hurt. And for a very, very long time, actually, he was saying to me about the friend that I mentioned when all that stuff went down last year. He was saying to me, this is toxic. It is not good for you. And I kept on persisting with the friendship, because we'd been friends for a very, very long time, and we had a lot in common, and we got along obviously very, very well. That's why we were friends for so long. But things were very toxic, and I'm glad that I'm not in that situation anymore. But sometimes, like, I do appreciate, obviously, my husband being supportive in that way, but sometimes you just need to learn, like, on your own. And I definitely learnt. And yeah, I think also attachment styles have a lot to do with the way that you respond in certain situations. So, say, for example, I do have a bit of an anxious attachment style, and that definitely is connected to a lot of the trust issues that I have and that formed when I was a lot younger. Like, the anxious attachment style is because I have a fear of, like, losing people that I really like or that I want to spend more time around. So that definitely can lead me into maybe trying to hold on to things that just aren't right for me. And I need to let go of that. Sometimes you will sort of like alter your boundaries because you're so worried about losing the person. So you're willing to alter your boundaries. And that is something that I would often do. But I'm getting better with that. You know, it's so funny that, like, with some people, I absolutely have boundaries and I'm like, nah, this is what it is, take it or leave it. But with some people, I don't know. It's like sometimes I'm led into like a false sense of security with some people, and they give me exactly what I want. And then it's like dangling a little carrot. And I think I'm going to get there. And I feel safe with this person. And I want that. I want that more. But it's like love bombing. Like, everything seems so amazing to begin with. But then the more that you go, you see red flags, you ignore them. You keep persisting and you let down your boundaries and you continue on in these relationships that actually don't serve you or are not good for you. They don't align with your values. And this is when I end up getting hurt the most, is when all of this doesn't align with the person that I am. And I think to a certain extent, the way that I think about things deeply and also reflect on things allows me to learn from certain situations and also put new boundaries in the future and not allow myself in those situations again. But it is a learning curve. It really, really is. And I'm not saying from now on I'm going to be perfect and I'm not going to allow myself to open up to people and make new friendships because, you know, I really do love meeting people and making new friends, but I also keep like my close friends. So that has been on my mind a lot lately. And yeah, it just often comes up when I do have big life events and I'm like, who is truly there for me? And there's some people that I'll say are definitely still my friends that I haven't heard from, you know, when everything's been going on lately. But I appreciate that everybody has things going on in their life. And if I directly reached out to these people and was like, hey, I'm having a hard time, they would be there like that. I absolutely know that. But it's really the people that I've spoken to that have not really seemed to show much of an interest or cared that much, or the people that have continued to sort of lean on me at this time where I really just don't have much capacity to be there for people. And when I've been like, why are you asking this of me when I'm already feeling quite mentally drained? So there isn't that many people that have been like this. I do really have a good support network and I am very lucky with the people that I do have around me. But yeah, I thought that I would talk about this because I do find when I hear certain things on social media, it kind of strikes a chord with me sometimes and it makes me think, oh, this is what my friend did to me. That's not okay. And it really makes you realize, like, and it allows you to reflect on certain situations that you've been in and yeah, make better decisions. So I thought I would talk about it today, and I don't think that I've really said anything to hurt anybody today. The person that I went through everything with last year, they know how I feel about this and how hurt I've been over all of this. So if they do happen to listen, then it's not going to come as any surprise, and I've said everything that I need to say to them, and I'm content with that. I would never put out any content to intentionally hurt this person, but I'm going to talk about it because this is something that has happened in my life, and I think it's relevant for today to talk about it. I hope that everybody found this episode interesting, and if you're going through anything that is similar, then just know at the end of the day, you need to really honor your own values and put boundaries in place. And at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you and not worry about what other people have to say about you, because this is your life. You need to live the life that you want to live / deserve to live. So that's my 2 cents. So thank you so much for listening, guys. So I will be back in your ears again next week because I'm being good and I am definitely back on board with regular recording and putting out episodes. So yeah, until next time, thanks guys.